Number 1.
Oh shit.
Why you wait?
I forgot.
Number 1, punch hole display. Hey guys, so we're already halfway through 2019 and there has been a lot of things going on in the smartphone world, like new trends, innovations, just topics people have been talking about for the past few months. So
we are going to talk about them, give you a little refresher of what's been happening since January until now. So let's get started.
Number 1, punch hole display. So this started near the end of 2018 when Samsung announced the Samsung Galaxy A8s, and then soon after you see the Honor View 20 having the same punch hole display, and then after that there is the very popular S10 series where all 3 models came with a punch hole display, and the S10 Plus, it had a dual front camera, so it was a cylinder cutout.
Like a rectangular kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyone did this because the notches were getting a bit tiresome. People wanted a full screen display or at least a little bit extra screen real estate, but it kind of got in the way, right?
Yeah, personally I think it's still obstructing a small part of the display, and it can be a bother, especially when it comes to full screen videos or gaming. And people would think that it's an alternative to a full display, but it's actually just a little less obstructive compared to notches, I feel lah. And I think it's just like a hole that you really can't unsee. It's on the screen. So that I think that there are better ways to legit full display, you know. Number 2, camera mechanisms. So there are better ways to a full display, right? And I found out that Oppo actually had a phone model called the Oppo N3 that had a rotating camera mechanism back in 2015. But there hasn't been any hype, I guess, so it wasn't popular back then, and it actually became something recently because back in 2018, Vivo came out with the Vivo Nex, and then soon after you see a lot of phones trying to come up with these camera mechanisms like pop-up, sliding.
But besides that, of course, you get like things like the Oppo Reno with the rising pivot structure. Let me demonstrate like this, and then you have upcoming phones like the Samsung A80 with the rotating camera, as well as the ASUS Zenfone 6 with the flipping ones.
Yeah. So I'm actually curious how this works, because if you have a front and back camera, right, when I take Insta stories, I just have to double tap to switch it. But when it comes to rotating or flipping cameras, they're gonna take some time as they flip over or they rotate. So I'm actually wondering how it works. Does it goes black for quite a time, or does it like record as it rotates, which is really weird. But then I'm actually quite impressed by this new camera mechanisms also, because it has the security feature. If it detects like that it's falling, the mechanism will actually retract back, so that's a very cool thing. And oh my god, yeah, and it's also really cool for like rotating and flipping mechanisms, because I think, you know, you get the back camera as your front camera, so you get better selfies.
Of course, we have to talk about Oppo and Xiaomi, who have recently announced the in-display cameras that sort of blend into the top half of your display. When you're not using it, LED kind of, it creates colors, so it blends into your videos, your games. When you are using it, it sort of becomes transparent, so you can take photos with it. And I think that this is the only true solution for a full screen display, without mechanisms, without notches, without any sliding mechanisms, and yeah.
Number 3, phones that can zoom really far. So how far? Try 60 times, because the Oppo Reno 10 times zoom edition can zoom that far, and it also has a 10 times hybrid zoom. And if you have been on the internet, you've probably seen a lot of memes about this phone, the Huawei P30 Pro that can zoom up to 50 times.
So this is the part where we tell you why the trend is a trend or why people are talking about it, but honestly, we don't know either.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're getting good photo quality when you zoom in that far, unless you're at a concert and you want to see your oppa all the way at the front, then maybe sure. But you're still gonna use like a tripod for a steady shot anyways.
Yeah, it's super shaky, especially if you go to maximum like 50 times, 60 times, slight movement, and then you just don't know what you're seeing.
Number 4, 48 megapixel cameras.
Yes, we're still on cameras. If you notice the trend by now, most of the things people talk about in 2019 is related to photography. So we actually have 2 camera sensors that allow for 8 megapixel photography. The Sony IMX586 that is found on the Xiaomi Mi 9, the Honor View 20, and oh yes, the Oppo Reno. And also the other sensor, which is the Samsung ISOCELL Bright GM1 that is found on the Vivo V15 Pro and also the Redmi Note 7. Yeah.
Let's not get into details about 48 megapixel photography because it can get pretty confusing.
Yeah.
What we can say is that when you take a shot in 48 megapixel mode, it takes up a lot of storage space.
A lot.
And it gets a bit sharper, your images, but it's not immediately noticeable.
You need to zoom in, or else you can't really tell the difference.
And since people mostly post on social media after they take the photos anyways, which compresses your photos, the standard 12 megapixel kind of lens is
it's fine,
enough.
It's definitely enough.
So 48 megapixel kind of feels like a gimmick, you know?
For now, yeah.
For now. So finally, we're moving away from cameras with number 5, foldable phones. Now this is a trend or innovation that breaks most because finally you have phones that actually fold. And what made this a popular topic of discussion was of course Samsung Galaxy Fold, which wasn't that great because review units sort of kind of broke for really silly reasons.
But there are other foldable smartphones too, right?
Yeah, like the Huawei Mate X, the TCL's version, and as well as
Royal Flex Pi. Yeah, I actually think it's an amazing technology because technically from display, it used to be just something you can look at, and then it became like, smartphone and you get a touch screen and there's a lot of functions, and then now you can even fold display, which is kind of amazing because display are supposed to be solid, right? So technically if you fold one like this right now, it's gonna break, but to be able to make it into a foldable thing and it doesn't break, it's kind of neat, yeah.
But at the same time, you have to ask the question of why. Sure, you get like extra screen real estate. You have one screen, you have another screen on top or to the side if you're Samsung Galaxy Fold. Yeah, so you have more productivity, but at the same time, why? The phones are so expensive.
Very expensive. I think it's just not affordable to many. So unless you really have the cha-ching,
you're not gonna buy the phone. And it's not like we're gonna get it anytime soon because Samsung has once again delayed the announcement of the release date of the Samsung Galaxy Fold, which was due for April.
I think Mate X announcement was also delayed, so you shouldn't be able to see foldable smartphones from these two brands coming anytime soon to you lah. Yeah.
So this is a sign that there needs to be more work done to make it foolproof, to make it more user-friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have to wait for a long time before we get it. Alright?
So yeah, that's about it, right? That's all the noteworthy trends and innovations that has been happening in the first half of 2019. But we can also make a second video
sometime in December for the second half of 2019.
If there are any interesting stuff.
We're pretty sure there are.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, do subscribe to our channel,
KLGadgetTV, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye! I'm gonna do it.